November 24, 1440. History is often more blood-soaked than fiction. Many fans of Game of Thrones remember the horror of the Red Wedding, a moment where the laws of hospitality were shattered in a sea of wine and steel. But George R.R. Martin did not invent that betrayal. He got inspiration from the history books. Inside the high, gray walls of Edinburgh Castle, a 10-year-old king sat at the head of a banquet table. He was surrounded by laughter, the smell of roasted meats, and the music of the court. His guests were two young brothers, the heirs to the most powerful family in Scotland. But by the end of the night, the music would stop, the floor would be stained red, and a severed head of a black bull would be served as the final course. Tonight, we are treading into the cold stone halls of medieval Scotland to witness the Black Dinner, a night where the crown proved that no bond is sacred and no guest is safe. Welcome to the portal, where myths, nightmares, and mysteries are just one step away. My name is Epoch, and I will be your guide. To preserve the light, we must first face the dark. The power of the Black Douglas. To understand the murder, you must understand the Black Douglas. For generations, the House of Douglas was the steel spine of Scotland. They were warriors, heroes of the wars of independence, and they were becoming more powerful than the kings themselves. By the mid-15th century, the Douglas clan owned vast lands, commanded private armies, and acted as if the laws of the realm did not apply to them. When King James II took the throne, he was only a child, a 10-year-old boy king. The real power lay in the hands of two ambitious men, Sir William Crichton, the Chancellor of Scotland, and Sir Alexander Livingston. These men looked at the young Earl of Douglas, an arrogant 16-year-old named William, and his younger brother David. They saw a threat that could not be bargained with. They saw a family that needed to be uprooted limb by limb if the boy king was ever to truly rule. They decided that the Douglases would not be defeated on the battlefield. They would be ended at the dinner table. If you have watched this far, remember to subscribe, like, and comment what would you like to see next. The Invitation and the Trap. In November, a messenger was sent to the Douglas stronghold. He carried a royal invitation, a gesture of friendship. The Chancellor invited the young Earl and his brother to Edinburgh Castle to feast with the young King James. It was to be a celebration of peace between the families. The Douglases were warned. Their advisors told them never to enter a fortress they did not control. But William was 16, proud, and perhaps naive. He believed in the code of guest right. In Scotland, to harm a guest who had eaten your salt and bread was the ultimate sin, a crime that would damn a soul to hell forever. The brothers arrived at the castle gates with a small retinue. They were welcomed with smiles. They were led to the great hall. The young King James, only 10 years old, reportedly took a liking to the brothers. They played, they laughed, and for a few hours the darkness of Scottish politics seemed to vanish. But as the sun set and the candles burned low, the mood in the room began to shift. The final course. The feast was reaching its peak when the music suddenly stopped. The heavy wooden doors of the great hall were slammed shut, and the sound of the iron bolts sliding into place echoed like a hammer on a coffin. A single drummer began a slow, rhythmic beat. The servants entered the room carrying a large silver platter. They placed it in the center of the table, directly in front of the young Earl of Douglas. They lifted the lid. There, resting on the silver, was the severed head of a black bull. In ancient Scottish tradition, this was the symbol of death. It was the signal that the guest right had been revoked. The feast was over. The young King James, realizing what was happening, began to scream and weep. He threw himself at the Chancellor's feet, begging for the lives of his new friends. But Crichton was cold. He told the boy king that the Douglases were traitors and that the king's peace required their blood. The Douglas brothers were seized at the table. They were dragged out into the castle courtyard, while the 10-year-old king was forced to watch from the window. The mock trial and the axe. In the dark, freezing courtyard of Edinburgh Castle, a mock trial was held. It lasted only minutes. There was no defense, no witnesses, only the verdict: treason. William, the 16-year-old Earl, begged that his younger brother, David, be executed first. He did not want the boy to have to witness the death of his older brother. The executioners complied. The axe fell once, then it fell again. By the next morning, the House of Douglas had been decapitated. The regents had secured their power, but they had also left a stain on the Scottish crown that would never truly be washed away. A popular rhyme of the time captured the horror that the people felt for this betrayal. Edinburgh Castle, tower and town, God grant thou sink for sin, and that even the grass may never grow where the Douglas blood ran in. The lesson of the Black Bull. The Black Dinner reminds us that the civilization of the royal court is often just a thin veneer over a primal, predatory hunger for power. We tread in the darkness of this history to see the roots of our own stories. Whether it is a red wedding in a fantasy novel or a black dinner in a castle courtyard, the message is the same. Beware the smile of a desperate man, and never, ever assume that the rules of society will protect you from the ambition of a wolf. The Douglases would eventually seek their revenge, and Scotland would be plunged into years of civil war. But that is a story for another night. Thank you for treading in the shadows with me. If you enjoy these deep dives into the dark side of history, subscribe and join our community. Good night, and remember, watch the platters when you dine with kings.
Let us now step back into the portal and go to our segment of time and space. If you would like to see a longer video about what we went through today, or if you would like to see another specific video, leave it in the comments. Feel free to check any of our previous voyages on screen. My name was Epoch, and I will see you again on one side or the other. Farewell.